What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already found us, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post weekly videos. We post videos on Second Amendment related content as it goes to firearms reviews, safety tips, and other fruitful content related to firearms that we see fit. We get a lot of emails from subscribers that want us to post certain videos. We post these videos. We also post our cooking videos that we started with this content when we started this channel about a little bit over a year ago. Been getting a lot of subscribers related to this content, so we appreciate it. Tonight's topic is going to be a simple one. We're going to try not to make this one too long. No promises once again, because our videos tend to be longer when we're trying to give you guys as much information as possible. When we get a lot of this content, we get a lot of our content from subscribers that email us with questions and stuff like that. So for tonight, this video is based on a couple of emails that we got from subscribers here, particularly in the state of Florida area that we're based off of, with questions regarding concealed weapon license related questions and stuff. So we wanted to clear this up, do a informative video like these. We do a lot of fair use on this channel. We do a lot of talking once again. You have some of these channels that are basically, talking about other content and other stuff going on, but we like to do a lot of talking on this channel. That way you guys are aware. These videos are the most useful on this channel. We like to post a lot of informative videos. So this video for tonight is going to be Florida, particularly the state that we're living in, state of Florida. Florida concealed weapon license. Florida concealed weapon license still useful? Question mark. Is the Florida concealed weapon license still useful? It is. It is very useful. It serves a lot of purposes. Once again, we had permitless carry that was passed in the state of Florida on January of 2023. Permitless carry. The governor announced that this was passed January of 2023, permitless carry, and then we had something that's called open carry that was recently passed on September of 2025. This is something separate. It's not included in the permitless carry, but they go hand in hand. The open carry was passed on September of 2025, which basically allows anyone 21 years of age or older to be able to carry a sidearm, a firearm on their hip or on their shoulder, or wherever that weapon is fit to be carried, legally carried, obviously, legally carried in a holster in a appropriate manner. That open carry law was passed September 2025, and then the permitless carry, several states in the United States, several states, more than any. So we have 50 states in the United States. More than half of the state, or more than half of the nation, is authorized to permitless carry. Certain states still have requirements when it comes to a permit having to be issued. There's certain states that are shall issue. Some of these states that are shall issue, and some of these states that are may issue. It's all different. Every state's different once again. But we're gonna get more into it. We just wanted you guys to know what the title was for this video for tonight. It's Florida. We're gonna get into specifics for our state of Florida. We don't know about the other states, obviously. 50 states in the United States. But we're gonna get more into Florida. Florida is where we're based out of. This is our subscribers are reaching out to us regarding Florida. We don't know about all these other states. We can get into that later on in another video, but for today, this is going to be based off of Florida. Concealed weapon license, still useful. So once again, we're gonna get into disclaimer slash disclosure. Like, we like to inform you guys of where we're coming from and what we're doing, and then we'll get into the specifics of this video. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post our Sunday-Gunday content. Obviously tonight's not Sunday, it's Monday. We had a long weekend. It's a federal holiday, President's Day today, but we went ahead and decided to throw some content on the channel. We are posting weekly videos. We try our best to post cooking videos and Second Amendment related content as it relates to the Second Amendment community, and gun reviews and other safety tips, maneuvering in uncertain times that we're living in. This channel is for educational purposes only. We preach lawful self-defense. We're by no means gun fanatics. We're not giving any legal advice. Once again, we're just simply giving you guys general guidance. That way you're aware of the consequences that are associated with you guys engaging in any kind of activity that's not lawful. We want you guys to be lawful. We want you to be responsible with your firearms at all times. We're not claiming to be firearms experts. We simply are giving guidance once again, and we want you guys to be responsible with your weapons. We're coming from 17 years of law enforcement experience. Myself, I've been an armed security guard in the state of Florida since 2010. Worked for companies like G4S, Whack and Hunt, now known as Allied Universal. Worked for the Blackwater Agency. Worked for the federal government, United States Department of Homeland Security. And now I'm currently a police officer. I've been a police officer in the state of Florida since January of 2014. So that's just some of the experience that we're coming from. We got message to the trolls. We get trolls on the channel all the time, posting all kinds of weird stuff in the comment section. We're not going to entertain it. You're simply going to get blocked. We don't have any time for that. We have shout outs to 3 channels that we collaborate with on YouTube. Show us a lot of love on our YouTube platform, as well as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We have Gun Freak Nation with Uncle Terry in Detroit. We have Trey 57 Production with Ramon up in Pennsylvania. And then finally we have the Alert Zone TV. We have the Alert Zone TV with Uncle James in Iowa. These are 3 channels that collaborate with us, show us a lot of love. We wouldn't have a channel if it weren't for these 3 channels on YouTube. So we appreciate these channels. You guys go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to these channels and our channel if you can. Smash that like button and subscribe button. That way you guys get an alert anytime we post any kind of content like this, any kind of fruitful content. So we're going to get into it. This is going to be a short one. We're going to try our best not to make this too long. We're already 8 minutes into it. So, Florida concealed weapon license, still useful? Question mark. The Florida concealed weapon license has been around for before I know, from before I could even remember. I don't know how long the Florida concealed weapon license has been in place. But this is another form of identification verified through the FBI. This is a form of identification that not just anyone can obtain. You can't just obtain a Florida concealed weapon license just like that. You have to go through fingerprinting and other measures, other background investigations that have to be done in order for you to obtain this type of license. This license has been in place for a while. This license continues to be in place regardless of what laws have changed in our state of Florida. We've had laws change, like once again, like what we told you on July of 2023. July of 2023, permitless carry was passed, meaning you no longer need a permit, a concealed weapon permit, to be able to carry a weapon concealed. And then on September of 2025, the open carry law was passed. It was passed after 40 years of being of being banned in this state, basically 40, I think it was 40 years or something like that. I got to look up on it exactly to give you the exact time frame, but open carry was legal at one point, and then it became illegal for about 40 years. That's not the case anymore. These laws are constantly changing, but it doesn't mean that the concealed weapon license doesn't serve a purpose. It still continues to serve a purpose. The Florida concealed weapon license is valid for about 7 years. Last time I checked, I have one. I have had a Florida concealed weapon license since I was 20 years of age. Actually, I was a little bit younger than when it was when I could apply for the license, but I went ahead and applied before I turned 21, and I've had the license ever since. I'm 36 years old now, so you guys do the math. The concealed weapon license serves several purposes. We're going to get into it. We have a whiteboard here that we like to show you guys when we're talking about these videos, these informative videos. That way you guys can be on the same page as far as what we're talking about. There are several things when it comes to concealed weapon license. It's another form of identification. Once again, it's a photo ID, so it's something that's government issued that can be that's always a plus for you guys that you know, carry identification on you. You never know when you're going to need to display or show additional identification when you're doing certain things. So it's another form of valid ID through the state of Florida that you have valid photo ID, not just ID, but photo ID, which is very useful. We're going to go ahead and get more into it, but for this video, we have this whiteboard right here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So, like we said in the intro to this video, permitless carry on July of 2023 was passed by the governor. The governor announced that permitless carry was passed. We have the open carry law that was passed as well on September of 2025. So that's that. You have that. So we're going to give you guys a couple of reasons why the concealed weapon license is still useful. It's still a useful form of ID, and why you can benefit from having this on you. You might not have it. If you don't have it, it doesn't mean that you have to have it, but it's just another form of identification that can be useful to certain individuals depending on what you're doing, depending on what type of activity you're involved in. If you're a firearms owner, if you're constantly purchasing firearms, if you're constantly traveling throughout the United States. A lot of people call it the United States. A lot of people call it the divided states. We're not going to get into any politics in this video, but there's a reason for this. There's a reason why we're posting this video. That way you guys are aware of certain things that can become a problem when you cross state lines. There's a lot of different stuff going on when it comes to politics, when it comes to gun laws, and different types of activity when you're crossing state lines. So we want you guys to be aware. We want you to be smart with your firearms. We don't want anyone to get into any type of legal issues or any type of borderline illegal activity. So that's the reason for this video. We have reciprocity. So that's number one. Reciprocity is a fancy word for basically recognizing, any state recognizing gun laws. So reciprocity is basically, we have 50 states in the United States of America, and then these 50 states have different laws when it comes to firearms. You might go to California and you might find yourself in a situation where you're carrying a firearm on you, and that firearm is no longer legal because you're carrying a firearm that has more than 10 rounds of ammunition in the weapon. California has something called a magazine ban of 10 rounds or less. So you might be carrying a weapon that has 15 rounds in the magazine, and is that's a high capacity weapon, and it might not be legal in a state like California. So that's just one example. We're not going to get into every single aspect or every single detail of every state that's out here, but you might find yourself in a state where they don't allow certain things like high capacity magazines, where you can have a weapon that holds 17 or 18 rounds of ammunition. Something like that in California would not be allowed. So you need to be aware of if you're traveling within state lines and you're traveling and you have a firearm on you, you have something called reciprocity. So something like your concealed weapon permit might allow you to do certain things that you would not be able to do without it, like travel with your firearm or go to certain locations with that firearm, even though you're okay to do that in your state, but you might be traveling in and out of other states in the country, and then you might not be allowed to do certain things or certain activities with that firearm if you don't have a concealed weapon license. The Florida concealed weapon license is recognized in about 37 states. Last time I checked, I could be wrong. I'm not. Don't hold me to that. That's just the last time I checked. I'm not 100% on that, but having the concealed weapon license, state of Florida concealed weapon license, you're good in about 30 to like 37 states here in the United States. I don't know exactly what states they are once again, but reciprocity, that's number one. So reciprocity, that's a word that you guys need to remember. Reciprocity, big word for basically certain things being allowed when you go to certain other states that might not be allowed in your state but might be flexible in other states, or there might be other restrictions in place depending on where you're at. Like I said, once again, somewhere like Florida, you might be able to have a weapon with more than 10 rounds in the weapon. If you go to somewhere like California, that might not be allowed. You might be restricted to 10 rounds in that weapon. So you want to be aware when you're traveling. You want to be aware of if you're crossing state lines, you want to be aware of those laws, and you don't want to be breaking any laws. Once again, you want to be legal at all times. That's what we preach on this channel, is legal, lawful activity. So that's it for reciprocity. We're not going to get any more into that for now for this video. We got number 2. No waiting period on purchases. So if you're a legal purchaser of firearms, let's say you're a firearms dealer, you deal in firearms, you exchange firearms, you do a lot of trading, a lot of stuff like this. A lot of people here in our state do this type of thing where they engage in a lot of buying of firearms, especially when they're on sale. You might, like day traders in the stock market, you have people that day trade on firearms. You have people that are constantly looking for deals, looking for firearms to purchase, and there's no waiting period when it comes to you having a concealed weapon license. You could be a legal, law-abiding citizen that possesses certifications, several certifications. Doesn't have to be anything related to firearms. It could be a certification as a police officer. You could be an attorney at law. You could be a judge. You can be a federal officer. You can be any one of these things. You can be a law enforcement official that's certified in your state as a bodyguard, or for bodyguard services, or any type of security services, uniform security services. Like me, I'm licensed in my state. Like I told you guys, I'm a certified police officer in my state, and I happen to also be a security, uniform security officer in my state, armed security officer in my state. I have been since 2010, since I was 19. You could have all these certifications, but all that still doesn't waive the no waiting period for purchases. So the only license that waives the no waiting period for purchases in the state of Florida is a concealed weapon license. A concealed weapon license could be obtained by any civilian or any law-abiding person in your state. Particularly for Florida, we're going to talk about Florida once again. We're not going to get into any of the other states. Florida, the only person that can obtain a license, a concealed weapon license, and be waived for the no waiting period for a pistol or rifle or whatever other type of weapon, high capacity ammunition weapon, whatever the case might be, is a concealed weapon license. This is the only license. So you have all these other licenses through the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services here in the state of Florida that are, authorize you to work security services, bodyguard services, all these other types of services, private investigators, all this stuff. Like I told you guys, that I'm licensed in. You have all these other people that are licensed, certified in law enforcement. All that stuff doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the only person that is waived when it comes to no waiting periods for purchases is a concealed weapon license holder. So that could be anyone in the state of Florida. The last time I checked, there were about 500,000 concealed weapon license holders in the state of Florida, and that was a couple of years ago. I don't know if that number might have doubled by now, but a concealed weapon license can be obtained by any civilian in the state. It doesn't have to be somebody employed in law enforcement. It doesn't have to be a government official. This license is basically a waiver to the purchasing period. So if you purchase a weapon and you get it shipped to let's say A and B gun store, A and B gun pawn shop, or whatever the case might be, you get your weapon shipped to that location, you show up with your concealed weapon license, you're gonna walk away with that weapon. As soon as they do an FBI check on you, they do a quick check once you present your license. There's a fee for this, obviously, there's a fee for it. But the minute you show up, you walk out of the shop with your weapon in hand, and you don't have a 3-day waiting period. If you don't have the concealed weapon license, you're gonna have something called a three-day waiting period, where you're gonna have to wait 3 days. Once you show up to the gun shop, you're gonna have to fill out all kinds of paperwork, and then you're gonna have to leave and come back after the 3-day waiting period is over for you to be able to retrieve your purchase, whatever it was. If you bought one weapon, if you bought 3 weapons, if you bought one thing, whatever the case might be, that's a waiting period that you're not going to have to deal with if you have this concealed weapon license. Once again, this concealed weapon license here in our state of Florida is about $70 after you renew it, and it's something like $70 or something like that last time I checked, and it's good for 7 years, so you're talking about $10 a year. So to me, it's worth it. Some people might not agree. Some people might say, no, I don't need it. That's fine. That's great. Whatever you're comfortable with. But if you're going to be engaging in any kind of purchases or any selling of firearms or purchasing firearms, and you're going to be doing that on a regular basis every couple of months, this right here, the waiting period, that might be something that you want to look into. That way you're not waiting around and inconveniencing yourself when it comes to purchasing and picking up weapons and stuff like that. So we're gonna go past this now, just so you guys are aware. Number 3, proof of training and additional ID document. So proof of training and additional identification. So whenever you encounter a law enforcement official, whether it's an official capacity or if it's in a regular encounter, you might find yourself in an encounter where you're encountering a law enforcement official on a traffic stop, and you happen to be armed, you happen to have that firearm on you. That license basically notifies that official. If you decide to display that license, you're under no obligation. Once again, you're under no obligation to display that license if you don't want to. It's up to you. But if you happen to display that license, or if for any reason you happen to get into a discussion or something happens to where you have to display that license and show that you are a person that's authorized to have that firearm on you, it's just an extra layer of security, an extra layer of protection that you have. That's basically showing that law enforcement official that you've gone through the appropriate checks. There had to have been some type of a background check at some point in order for you to obtain that license. It could be that that license is no longer valid. It could be that you're not valid. It could be that you became a convicted felon in the last couple of weeks or overnight or whatever the case might be. But that aside, does not it basically does not create or paint a picture that is painting a picture on you that you're a person that might be an illegal possessor. It could be that you're illegally possessing the weapon even though you have the license, but more than likely if you display that license, it's showing that official that you are clear, that you are most likely clear, more than likely clear, and not clear. So that's another plus for you guys to be aware of. All right, number 4, FBI criminal check to possess. Once again, like we just said, if you have that license, it's more than likely that you are clear to have that license and possess that weapon. It could be that you are no longer authorized to possess that license, but more than likely you are clear to have that license. So that's another thing. It's an FBI check that's done every time you go to a gun shop and you go there to retrieve a weapon that you already purchased that was shipped to that dealer, or perhaps you went to a gun store and you want to buy a firearm and you want to take that firearm with you at that moment. They're going to do a quick check on you. They're going to look at your license and they're going to do a 5-minute or 10-minute FBI check on you with your concealed weapon license. That's the only way they can do it. There's no other way for them to do it. So that's number 4. That's a FBI criminal check to possess the firearm. We got number 5 right here. Reciprocity laws in other states. Once again, like we told you guys, if you're in one of these states that you're crossing state lines, constantly crossing state lines, a state like our state, the state of Florida, our state is huge. A lot of people that live in our state are not constantly crossing state lines unless you live north of our state to where you're closer to like Georgia or North Carolina or something like that, Alabama, where you're crossing state lines. A state like ours, you're not going to be constantly crossing state lines, so something like that might not apply to you. But there are other states where people are constantly crossing state lines, going from New York to New Jersey to Pennsylvania and different stuff like that. So number 5 right here, reciprocity laws in other states. Your concealed weapon license is going to be able to grant you certain protections that you wouldn't be afforded if you don't have that license in your possession. So that's another plus for you to have that license on you, just so you guys are aware. So that's that. And then number 6, finally, we're going to wrap this video up. Additional photo ID. Your photo ID is very important. We have obviously driver's licenses that were issued. You have your driver's license that you're issued in your state. You have passports. You have other identification. You have your social security card, which is not a photo ID, but it has a different standard. Having a photo ID, having additional photo identification. We're going to set this aside. Having additional photo identification is always useful. You don't know what position you're going to be in. You don't know what set of circumstances you're going to be in. You might have to display additional photo identification. So it's good for you to have an extra photo ID. It doesn't hurt for you to have that extra photo ID. You never know what set of circumstances you're going to be in. So that's number 6, additional photo ID. So we wanted you guys to just be aware of this, the reasons why the Florida concealed weapon license is still valid. It is going to continue to still be valid. It's not going anywhere. The license is still good. It serves many purposes. We want you guys to just be aware of this. if you plan on making any purchases or any kind of activity like that, it would be recommended for you to continue to just have that concealed weapon license if you have it already. If you don't have it, go ahead and obtain that. If you're not going to be purchasing firearms every few months or at least once a year, then you might not need it. But if you're going to be traveling throughout the states, it's recommended that you have this license. It's just better for you, you know. And then as far as criminal checks, criminal background checks and stuff like that, you have that license on you. It just shows the good guys that you're one of. It shows the good guys that you're one of the good guys. That you're more than likely one of the good guys, even though that might not be the case all the time. But more than likely, you are one of the good guys, and that will continue to allow you to maneuver throughout, you know, throughout whatever locations you guys are going through, and then you continue to cherish your Second Amendment rights. We want you guys to be safe once again with your firearms, and be safe at all times, and try to maneuver in reasonable manner, and try to be as safe as possible, not break any laws if possible, not break any other state laws if you're crossing state lines. Once again, this is it for tonight. This is the end of this video. William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, go ahead and subscribe, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe, hit the bell notification, that way you get a notification anytime we post any videos. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to our other channels on YouTube that collaborate with us. Gun Freak Nation with Uncle Terry, we have Trey 57 Production with Ramon up in Pennsylvania, and then we have finally the Alert Zone TV with Uncle James in Iowa. These are 3 channels that collaborate with us, show us a lot of love. We appreciate these channels. We wouldn't have a channel if it weren't for them. So you guys stay safe, have a good night, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.